it's going to be a tough one, but this should be a really exciting game between these two. I think there's a pretty good chance that we will go to full 3.
Yeah, and we have got the veto, right? It's worth chatting about as we do get into the action on map 1, which is going to be Anubis, picked up by the Movistar Riders. Only played it 5 times in the last 3 months, won 3 of those occasions. Eyeballers looking much more, 15 times played, only a 40% win rate and some tough old losses in there. Inferno will be the second. Very much enjoy playing when they get the opportunity. Mirage, if required, will be the decider between these two, but get this one done, I'd suspect sooner rather than later, with some early control taken in towards the canals, as they want to try and impose themselves on the Eyeballers.
Yeah, not a ton of presence outside B itself, so most of the focus, as you said, around canals right now, but they do have, I believe, Davey, it looks like. No, sorry, he's got the bomb. Either way, they will have a little bit of a split coming through the smoke to give only a single angle to Sepek, but he makes it work for a pretty solid headshot onto Alex. Now they just want to keep this advantage. They have, as you can see, a couple of smokes, a flash as well, so they can move in for this retake once they've got everyone present, and well, they pretty much already do.
Kit on Flusher will make this very viable indeed, as you said. Going to need some very quick kills out of the Movistar Riders here, and Mopos has managed to grab one. JW on that flank first of all. Sorsal able to chime in with one more, and this is really starting to fall apart for Eyeballers. Nothing doing. The one entry into the site, the sole kill they get in the round, and these are going to be problematic. Anubis tends to play, certainly at the amateur level. I can't speak to the professionals. I haven't seen enough of it to comment, but tends to lean T-sided. So getting those kind of pistols, conversions, the cheap rounds, if you will, always feels that little bit more important on this map.
Yeah, as you were saying yourself, I've seen games being played, but I think this is only my 3rd match to actually cast, as I've mostly only been doing Challenger League, and it just hasn't really been getting picked a lot. I think it's come up a few times as a decider, and we just haven't made it that far as well. There's always that little bit of disappointment. It's fun getting to cover the new map, something different after years of same old, same old. I like this little stack though. This is definitely something that I've seen in a matchmaking game. Shouldn't be too much trouble for Movistar. Grouped up pretty much outside A now, all moving back in that direction, so they'll find an open bomb site pretty soon. They'll likely see Eyeballers try for a few exits, hoping to steal a weapon or two, do some damage at the very least, but really there shouldn't be much being given away here from Movistar. They'll be looking at likely a round where they can keep all 5 alive, maybe send those Mac 10s to get a kill or 2. Wouldn't be too bad if they die.
Yeah, that'll be exactly what they look for. Pistols, unfortunately for Eyeballers, untested. It was a nice idea, right? You've got to try something a little cheeky in these kind of rounds, these kind of situations. But with nothing forthcoming, they will be forced just to look maybe for some exits, maybe even just to keep the Movistar Riders inside of the site, utilise that bomb, get some extra damage off. At the very least, they are going to start facing in towards the Galils here. Plenty of bodies and some rough old sprays for Sorsal. Goes down 1 for 1, and these Galils, some of the more high-value weapons that we saw the Movistar Riders bringing into this round, are starting to get dropped. G just about rescuing the situation. There is a couple of Mac 10s on Alex and Mopos as well, so they can look to salvage. As Mopos does get the final kill, but this is getting a little ugly. I mean, it's not the kind of result you'd want. They are going to lose one of those Galils, a Mac 10 maintained in the hands of Alex, and the Mac 10's not getting much in terms of firepower down either, not getting too many kills, not really building up that much bank. So if Eyeballers can respond here, if they can find a clean round as a result, it will put Movistar on the back foot very early on here on Anubis.
Yeah, I mean, they're straight onto the M4s here. 1 MP9 just because Flusher wants to be flush with utility, which is understandable, but other than that, weaponry-wise, it is definitely favouring over towards Eyeballers. Pretty good amount of nades as well to actually back it up, which is slightly surprising, buying straight into the 3rd round. Not normally a position you can be in. A slower default being taken this time around from Movistar. Well, spreading it out a little bit more. Previously it was focused around canals and A.
Yeah, much more of a standard.
Maybe set up for a late B split. I don't think they're ready to commit or anything, but it does seem like they're ensuring that they have that space.
Wanting to at least clear out the early angles in towards mid, certainly. Alex and Martinez. JW trying to be cheeky. He's sat inside of this smoke, but Alex pushes up close and personal with that Mac 10, gets the best of it. Unfortunately for him, the M4A1 has gone through and out of the smoke, so as he drops his Mac 10 and looks for the recovery, he will be punished. To Sapek, able to find a 1 for 1, but again, not in quite enough from this B-site hold. Pepsor now spotted out as well. Sorcel's there to back David up and find the freebie. At this point, a 2v3 after plant. There is utility at the very least for the Eyeballers, but how do they start to even attempt to crack back into this site? Flusher taking a straight 1v1. Will win it to open it up. 2-on-2 now. Flusher down on 10 HP. Utility starts to come out. Smoke to lock out B main isn't going to stop anyone from vision for now, as Sorcel swung on. Shine gets the kill, and David last up to bat, finds one. Flusher, an unknown quantity, he knows the position, doesn't know how much health he's got left. Both players tagged low here. Flusher trying to work his way around the pillar, but David isn't having it. Movi find themselves the 3-0, reset the economy of the Eyeballers, and the T-side train keeps on rolling.
Yeah, but it's another very close round with a single player standing, so I'm expecting at least some pistols to be invested into so Eyeballers can keep that pressure on and, well, hopefully start turning the tide then going into this next gun round. Yeah, Deagle's a bit of Kevlar where they can afford it. They do, of course, have full loss bonus going forward, so they can afford to spend a decent amount. They didn't spend too much, though. They want to ensure that they're going to have a very strong buy in this next round. Full AKs, though. Movistar. Certainly not lacking in the firepower department. Hopefully they can have a bit of an easier time here coming into this round and maybe start building up some economy for themselves, because they have nothing at all in the reserve. It's aggression from Pepsor out through B.
Timed it well.
The player watching it, yeah, backs away. As you said, should have a chance here maybe to catch at least one off guard. Awkward timing as he sees the gun barrel.
Gets the info though. Look at the rotation already from the CT side. Arguably Pepsor just holds off here. 3 players inside of the A site. Flusher holding exit. Going to give the Eyeballers the best possible shot of finding a conversion here. As Pepsor's got all the information in the world. It's actually going to be a 4th rotation as well. Flusher works his way into this A site as the execute comes through. It's a swarm of CT players ready and waiting to meet them. JW with one early on. The trades are good initially, and Flusher with a little magic on the Deagle brings it back. 2-on-3. They're being flanked out by Pepsor as well. There's one for free. Martinez responds, but almost immediately Flusher is there to trade it down. A little bit of timing, a little bit of magic from Pepsor gets the information Eyeballers need, and the miracle round comes off the back of it. And what a round to find as well. Movi not saving more than 1 rifle from the previous. They had to fully reinvest. So this round, well, their economy is absolutely decimated.
Yeah, completely shattered. I mean, that was nasty as well. I think that was a collateral with the Deagle in the end from Pepsor. He dinked the player in the background as well, so it kind of threw him off, ensured a very easy trade then was available. So just great work on that flank. As you said, just giving them all the info that they needed to take a risky stack. Well, a non-risky stack at that point, I suppose, but still it was difficult to make work, and they made it look pretty easy indeed. Sepek catches Mopos up close. Realised there was a little bit of a bait and switch with the molly going down. Shine with a quick kill as well. This is the eco, of course, so we're not expecting much Eyeballers to handle things with ease, which is not something we had seen from Movistar during any of their rounds, so it will allow Eyeballers to actually establish an economy.
Should get out of this one with everyone alive as well. Sorcel, just a Glock.
Preferably he needs a kill, though. He's only got 1400. They get 1900 loss bonus. He won't quite be able to buy with everyone.
Oh, Shine doesn't check this corner.
Oh, the knife
could have gone for it.
Yeah, another kill though. Here we go. That brought him up to 2000. Perfect. He can join
Lovely stuff.
And at least have a rifle.
Did well to get a couple of kills out of it. Gives that little bit of thought to the Eyeballers as well. You know, 3 rifles saved. Well, we're going to have to reinvest heavily on a couple. The drops will start to come out, but you can see Shine down on 750 at the moment. He's going to need a rifle. Forces a little more reinvestment. JW opts for the big green, so he goes bankrupt to get his hands on the AWP. As Movistar do bring out their buy, and as a result of those couple of kills, Sorcel is able to join, as you said, Galil in hand. Good utility as well to back it up. It's a very full-fledged buy here from the Movistar Riders. Opos and Martinez, the only players forced to take sacrifices, as JW wanted that initial aggression. Nothing given to him, however, forced to fall back to the relative safety of the mid doors.
Yeah, warned off by a wild spam through the smoke that thankfully didn't connect, but it really was just a little bit of luck on his side that it didn't. JW
wants this fight.
Mid aggression is expecting it as well. Oh, he saw the corner of that molly, I think, right there. That's what gave it away. Forced the fall back. Does have support as well, so they're just going to drop the couple mollies, try and sweat them out literally, and put no damage here from 2 of them.
Question is, will it be enough as the execute starts to come in? That mid control take and double smokes to con and exit. denying all information at the moment from the eyeballers. Forced a turtle within the relative sites. Pepsor trying to maybe work something out of exit. Has to use his Molotov to stop the A-split from coming in because Shine and Flush are desperately isolated at the moment. Timings really will be everything. Another CT molly expended just to try and buy a little more breathing room to try and ward Movistar off of this A site, but they want it. The bomb's still in mid. They've got options either way. Mopos deals with the first of the A defenders. Flusher caught inside of exit. The aggression from Shine Red and dispatched off. Pepsor, well, he gets the miracle kill through the smoke right as it blooms, able to find one. The nade should find him a second, but he's losing teammates left, right, and center. Pepsor needs a hero round, and he's got the bomb. Martinez peeking a little too wildly into the angle, has gifted a 2-on-2 with 8 seconds left. There's nothing more to do. Eyeballers, courtesy of the clock, and a little bit of magic from Pepsor, have their round.
Counter-terrorists win.
Yeah, and that's going to have their economy all over the place now as well, as you can see. Eco likely to come in a few pistols upgraded around these rifles, maybe, but if they want to try and ensure that there's going to be a buy for Saucil and Davy J in this next round, they're going to ideally need a bomb plant, and even then it'll be cutting it pretty close. So yeah, it's a slightly awkward spot to be, and I wouldn't have minded a pause, to be honest. Like
feels like they wouldn't have minded one either. Making the decision late out of spawn, it will be some bits and pieces. Saved rifles giving them something of a backbone. Deagles for a couple, but the investment is a little all over the shop, to be honest with you. And as JW peeks wide, flashbang in, can't quite capitalise, and Martinez, well, he takes advantage of the situation beautifully. Clean 1D. Deals with the veteran. Rifle will be shifted away at the very least, so that AWP shouldn't be recoverable. Saw Flusher diving into middle to get rid of that one, but the pressure is starting to mount once again. You can see that B site relatively sparsely occupied. Pepsor once again looking for the aggression out of main, getting that information across to his teammates, and it's allowed for this stack. 2 over towards A. Sapek this time trusted with holding exit. Forced again to drop the util, but this time there's a deagle through it. Martinez catches the timing, and this A site hold's going to be tested once again. Shine and Flusher with a split in hand, they pop out a con on Movistar, and they've got some isolated fights here. The smokes are good. Alex gets a freebie. Shine goes down, and for Flusher, he's got to do it all on his own here. Spray down's good for one, but he's being chased through the smoke by Saucil. And with an instantaneous trade, there's questions to be asked of the eyeballers here. Bomb down. Do they want to give this one a go? They've got util, they've got kits, but they're lacking information. Sapek, at the very least, able to take down that first eagle. Pepsor chimes in with one more, and now David G out of nowhere is left in a 1v2. Knows he's got to take this fight early, got to get the information, finds his first man. And once again, Pepsor asked to find the big play. Bomb goes down, smoke, and a straight defuse. David G's not read it. It's a clean one, it's a free one, and eyeballers take the lead.
I mean, even if he went in at that point and started spamming, it wasn't a certainty in the smoke that he was even going to find the diffuser. So, yeah, good call by Pepsor to just stick it in that position. 4-3, eyeballers, as you said, find the lead after initially Movistar looking like it was going to be them establishing an early T-side lead. They are at least able to buy up here. That previous round, obviously, they only had the saved weaponry and such. They did at least find the bomb plant, which got rid of the issue that I was talking about before, about being able to buy on everyone. So there's some positives, but they ideally need to start getting some more rounds on the board. And there we go. Martinez actually finds himself 2 early kills. Not sure how it's worked out like that for him, but either way,
round over.
Massively on the back foot. Pepsor pulls 1 kill back, but that's all. He's been pinched in on that B bomb site. Rotation being pulled from Shine, but what can he really do about this? They don't even have any money really in the reserve apart from on Pepsor, so saving is something that should certainly be considered. Not going to happen. There's already a player in mid as well. Look,
yeah, he's going to be hunted. Start to see there why Anubis feels so T-sided, right? Just straight peaks taken advantages for the T-side every time. Mopos mops up. And we level out at 4 apiece. The economy once again in the gutter for the eyeballers. Movistar bailed out of Dodge a couple of times here, you have to say. A couple of big rounds. Some nice information plays pulled by the CT side of the eyeballers as well. Catching some nice timings. Pepsor a couple of times now. We've seen him take that B main control to allow a heavier stack over towards A. They've read the play well, but not always able to expel it. Force spike comes through, and it's not a pretty one for the T side. CT side, rather, you have to say. Pepsor, of course, Deagle in hand, but Deegs for Flusher, Sapek, CZ for JW, 5-7 for Shine. With one rifle on the board, you really need Pepsor to have some early impact here. And well, he's gone, JW's gone, mid is gone, and well, they're losing players left, right, and centre at this point. Shine does manage to drag one back, but it's all in vain as he's almost immediately traded away. With 4 players left alive, the money keeps on rolling in for the Movistar Riders.
All right, I think that might be the cleanest round we've seen Movistar pick up yet. Obviously, early on when they were against the weaker boys, even it was a bit of a struggle, so that's a positive sign. The economy really starting to pick up over on the T side, and with a full eco coming in here from Eyeballers as well, they're going to take a 6-4 lead. They should have a really solid economy behind this, so they'll have the ability to keep on buying if they do drop some more rounds. Certainly a chance for, as you said, this T side to kind of spiral. For Eyeballers to start struggling if they don't find footing soon enough. For now, though, all USPs again. We did see previously when they didn't put any money in at all, they went for a little bit of a stack, found that late aggression and managed to catch some players outside of A. It doesn't seem like they're going to go for anything quite as crazy this time, but they are focusing on mid.
Giving Alex a nice prop to the utility damage there. Molotov goes in, HE's follow up. Plenty of damage done.
Pause being called as well. I'd imagine attack.
You'd have to imagine so. Eyeballers with the buy coming into the next. Got to have a conversation about it. A site in the midst of all of this chaos in mid is being taken. Mopos and Davigi working out that that's relatively free. And with just low HP on these remaining pistols, default USPs, they stack the wrong site. As much as they've made some solid reads so far in this first half, this one not going to be one of their better ones. A site taken. Mopos starts to clean up the remaining kills. Pepsor, well, grab one, maybe a double dink. That'd be best case scenario at this point for the USP as he's stuck deep in towards Speedway. Nothing he can do. Davigi cleans up house. A smooth one. All 5 alive for the Movistar Riders. Really starting to build up some momentum here.
Yeah, we're just into a quick pause here. Producer, we can see your overlay.
Well, hopefully this one isn't too long, because it really did feel like the momentum was starting to go the Movistar Riders' way in a serious way, right? They really had a lot of control of those opening moments after an initial back and forth. And I think that's what you really need, if we're going to be honest. On CT side of Anubis, you need to get in the fight early. You need to be getting those sort of traded rounds, those rough ones, stealing away the rounds here and there where you can, because you don't get very many opportunities. Admittedly, for the Eyeballers, with a much heavier presence on Anubis, 15 maps played in the last 3 months, they tend to lean out more level. Their CTT win percentages about equal, but the map as a whole, 55-45 leaning T, Movistar heavy leaning T. So it's one of those maps, it's almost an inverse nuke, right? You start T side, you build up 10, 11, 12 rounds, but it might not be enough to get you over the line. So anything you can scrap out on that CT side is good. And with Eyeballers already having 4, you feel like if they steal 1, 2 more CT rounds on full buys, they could be in a really promising position heading into that second half.
Yeah, I think 6 is going to be the sweet spot, which is definitely doable, but it's likely not going to be easy because they weren't able to put up a fight over those past couple of rounds. They weren't able to do any damage, and I think now you've got a few players even on that T side sitting close to 10,000 with everything already bought up for the current round that we're waiting on. So yeah, it's going to be tough to kind of crack through that initial kind of kink in the armor, but yeah, there's still an opportunity, as you said, just to grind out the 1 or 2 more for sure. Movistar have really found their footing, though, on this T side, and if they could keep that up, if they could head towards the 11-4 half at that point, not only would that be a great half, but they'd really have the momentum on their side as well, bar kind of the kind of small stumble that they've had so far, and that could also put them in a great spot then to not only close it out on the CT side, but to head on towards towards Inferno, which kind of, as you were saying to me earlier on, looks a bit deceptive stat-wise, because although they don't play it a ton and their wins aren't really anywhere near the same amount as their losses, they do tend to play against some of the better teams in the world, so it's kind of forgivable in that regard. And I think even in their most recent game, in their opening round of matches, they did take a 16-4 win over Iron Branch on Inferno as well, so it's clearly a map that they're very capable of playing.
Yeah, I mean, when you really dig into the numbers, big loss against G2, but it's G2, fine, we'll let that one slide. close losses against Gamer Legion, Furia, Ents, Copenhagen Flames, if you really want to roll it back far enough. You know, these are teams that are at the top of their game. You know, the Ences, the Furias of the world, very, very solid teams. So to run them close is a result in and of itself for this kind of caliber of team, and it gives them that bit of confidence. As you said, you know, you come into that map with a nice first map victory, you come into it with a 16-5, 16-6, something that builds the confidence, builds the momentum. Then you can really see a way for them to get it done cleanly. But to get there, they have got to get through this Anubis, and the Eyeballers are proving to be a pain in the side of Movistar at the moment, keeping them very busy, this time with some heavy presence over towards the B side of things. Will work their way into the E-box very early on here, and with a 2-2 split, they can really pile the pressure on. Molotov obscures the vision of JW, and it's a gift, a freebie on the opening. The flash is through, a solid Pepsol, again doing everything he can, but it's a 1-for-1. Flusher at least able to trade a second through the smoke, but Mopoz imitates his antics beautifully to find that trade. For Shine, again, very little he can have to say or do in this round. Smoke, a couple of flashes, but no kit. Time his ultimate enemy with that smoke down speedway as well. His options extremely limited. Would argue the save is a viable call at this point. 3 alive from the Movistar Riders. It should be a 7th on the board for that T side.
Yeah, I was a bit worried, to be honest. There was 3 players on the site, a 4th in quick rotation as well, but they were just overrun, traded out by Movistar. It was a good call to take that risk because they really didn't have the utility. They didn't have a kit either, and if the bomb goes down, then the retake was going to be very difficult. So they took a gamble, and it just didn't pay off. They still got destroyed. And now they're looking at pistols, some Kevlar most likely. It's an opportunity for Movistar to head up towards 8 and at the very least confirm the lead for the half-time for themselves. And then with maybe 1 or 2 more gun rounds potentially actually come through with the 11-4. So rough position for Eyeballers to be in. Not as big of an investment really as I was expecting either. They don't have too much to work with.
Want to see something a little bit inventive from them here, realistically. You want to see some proactivity, some aggression. Taking the fight to this T side. Pepsor and Shine doing just what the Doctor ordered. A killer piece on either side of the map.
They're Pepsor.
Fortunately, Pepsor just forced forward by that molly, we'll say. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Straight into the awaiting arms of an AK-47. Does leave his team in a 3-on-3, but there's an AK recovered now. Shine with the arm has managed to get his hands on it. With Sourcel down on 24 HP, this one starts to become more of a question than an expectation. Flusher close in mid should be able to get a good amount of information here as well. Allow for a little bit more proactivity, and this is where you really want to see the timing of the aggression, because Sapek is currently completely isolated out on B. The rifle of Shine over on A needs to make this rotation if they want to have a chance at this round. They need to get some kind of info play. And for now, Sapek is looking very isolated. Backside, he's going to keep himself quiet, keep out of the eyes of this T side, but right as he looks to swing, Mopoz is ready, and at this point, again, the aggression from Flusher, you can see the idea on this flank, but it feels like it's going to be too little too late. He's going to have to get there in the next 5 seconds if he wants a kill, and already you can see it's going to be Sourcel looking for it, finding himself the kill, and with Shine, again, no kit. At this point, no utility either, as the Molotov tries to go down onto the bomb. He's just left with no decision but to hang on to that AK-47 for the next round, and it's a little disappointing for the Eyeballers, despite the limited investment. In a 4-on-3, even the 3-on-3 situation, you would have backed them to get some damage done, but just not to be.
No, and Shine just keeps on finding himself in the same position. They are something along those lines. A bit of deja vu. Gets shot in the face by Mopos now, and yeah, we expected that 8th round to go the way of Movistar either way. We were hoping, though, Eyeballers could give them a bit more of a fight, because Movistar at this point are secure for the rest of the half in terms of being able to continue buying and making sure that these rounds are scrappy. So Eyeballers have really only had things get more difficult for them since that pause. It's a very slow game from JW as well. The fact that they're missing that off presence on the CT side certainly cannot make things easy.
One of the maps where you can really do with a big AWPer. Someone to put the pressure on the T side, find those early picks, keep them in the disadvantage. Proactivity seems to have been called by Eyeballers, and it's a nice read. 3 players outside of the A site. Question is, who's going to be watching for this? Davigi looks ready. Waiting for exactly this kind of a play. Instead, it's Martinez from the high ground, deals with Sapek. And he hasn't really gathered that much information off the back of it. Sure, he knows 2 players are outside of the A site, but that's not enough to make a read, so they're going to have to re-aggress, this time outside of B. 2 players here, Pepsor and JW, to make the play. Shifting around the corner, they will get this information, and now it's a timing game. JW and Pepsor take the play outside of B, a main taken in the meanwhile. And how heavily do you want to commit to this? How heavily do you want to commit to the rotation and the aggression? It's going to be Pepsor once again left out. Hung out to bait outside of that B site for information as the rest of the team look to make the rotation back around. Shine Smoke a little bit late. Gives the game away. They know where to look for him. The HEs will start to come through, but the rotations are coming through faster. 3 players close to this A site as the hit comes in. It's Shine to find the early kill. Immediately traded, but here's Flusher. Up close and personal once again, looking for the response, but he can't find Mopoz. And JW, well, he's got the flank of Pepsor, but for now, he remains the only man anywhere near this A site. And with a fast flank read by Sorsal, there's nothing JW can do. He gets 1, but he's down to 20 HP. He's got a flank coming through Connector. Mopoz is up close and personal. And it's a 9th on the board for the Movistar Riders as once again, the Eyeballers just can't find a way to hang on to that A site.
Yeah, I like what we're seeing. Martinez, though, he's only got 8 kills, has had good impact, finding some solid openings in gun rounds. We have Sossel playing really well, another one of those newcomers, and well, Mopo's one of the names you'd expect or you'd hope to be fragging. Certainly up there at 14 and 6 right now, so it's all coming together for Movistar and Eyeballers. They're going to have one more chance to put likely just a 5th on the board unless they can pull off a bit of a miracle here with the Deagles and the MP9. Ouch. Ooh, JW, nice shot. Okay, he's been struggling overall, but perhaps he's going to come alive now with the Deagle and just show us a sick round out of nowhere. Inject some life into Eyeballers, that's what they need. Oh.
Okay.
That looked weird when he peeked.
I think Eyeballers will take all the weird they can get. The problem is, again, they've been stretched thin by this hold, and Pepsor has no idea that Mopoz has just worked his way through the E-box silently. Assassinates his man, and with Sapek spotted out now, the utility is available for the Movistar Riders just to try and lock this one down. Sapek and JW both fall, and again, a promising initial moment just seems to slip by the CT side. Shine on 19 HP after his initial engagement. Switching for the Deagle as he looks for a clean 1 ball, but he's going to have to catch a hell of a timing, and Mopoz is just not up for giving those away. 10 on the board for the Movistar Riders. The T side on an absolute roll here. And I mean, we were talking about 11-4 being a very solid half for the Movistar Riders. They're 1 round away from getting that one in the bag. Need a big response from Eyeballers, something to give them the momentum shift heading into that second half.
Yeah, I mean, you pointed out Movistar Riders are definitely T-sided, but I think it's like a 55-45 split, so 11-4 would be, I think, going a little bit above and beyond if they can manage to solidify that now with this final round. Eyeballers, though, they still have something to say about it. JW back on the up, they've got all the utility they could ask for, and well, hopefully they have something to show us. Nothing crazy happening in the initial stages, though. The CT's playing fairly standard. They have a player at the back and mid there, I think. JW, not too sure what's going on exactly. They have flushed it and pushed up towards the door. I think they're expecting mid-aggression to come in currently. For the moment, though, Movistar are holding pretty passively in this default.
Yeah, Martinez spammed down in the opening moments is a nice amount of damage to find, single digits. He's forced to play more passively on the AWP as a result. Counter spam does find some connection though. Sapek, position now known, has to relocate out of the E-box, and that'll start to open up that space once more over towards the B side of things. 50 seconds left on the clock though. First time in a while Movistar have found themselves in this situation, just lacking an initial pick, initial control, as now they will look to take it in towards E. Right, as the CT side have looked to call a play here. They want to get aggressive out of mid, and JW is rewarded for that. Quick kill found. That will allow for the rotation. Sapek can make his way back towards this B site before the hit comes in. Out of E-box, though, he's not expecting it. Pepsor manages to trade his teammate's death, but again, it's only for 1, and again, it's going to be Eyeballers relying on this flank. Sorsal up against Flusher, and he's ripped his head off clean. Exactly the start Movistar Riders would have wanted. Now into the 2-on-3 for the Eyeballers. And that low HP of Martez starts to become less and less of an issue as JW on the AWP needs Shine to come in big here. David their first issue, tight on the angle, spotted out, fires off a little too early, and it's 2 quick kills for the Eyeballers as they look to make this one stick. Martinez last up, and JW is having none of it. The miracle fifth is found, exactly what the Eyeballers needed, and we'll have to see if they can bring it back after the break.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
A 10-5 half feels solid enough for both sides of the equation. Eyeballers able to steal that late round away to give themselves hope. Maybe, just maybe, stealing this entire map away. Aggression down mid is the order of service in the pistol from the Movistar Riders, and they're not quite going to spot out that this is an entire A execute. will at least be able to get some presence inside of the site before it comes through, though, as both Alex and Davidji are working their way around to this portion of the map. CT side, though, very shortly to find out exactly what's happening here. Mopoz and Martinez aggressive towards B. And, well, Movistar know exactly what's coming before it even comes in here. 2 players late on the backstab, but it's all a ruse. It's all a fake. Even the util used to fake them out, and Pepsor takes full advantage of the confusion. Immediately traded, but it's going to be bombed down on B. And it's going to be a 4-on-4 retake situation with Movistar Riders scattered to all 4 corners of Anubis here. A couple players starting to work their way through the temple, but it's Sapek with 2 swift headshots as Alex and Martinez look very split on this retake.
Yeah, Martinez has been the one keeping them in it here in the meantime. Alex coming through, but Martinez again adding to his tally as a third headshot comes in. He puts down Sapek, who had been so important so far for Eyeballers. With that double he had found, leaving it all into the hands of Flusha. Certainly capable in these clutch positions, but it's going to be tough trapped in the E-box. There's a kit in play for Alex, but he needs to get on it soon. The first kill comes through, the head is down, but he's surely not going to be able to pull it off. Indeed, just about take it out in time. About a second, if not less, remaining on that defuse, but Eyeballers, they managed to make it happen in the end, taking themselves a 6th round and a massive lifeline that was needed here so that they can start building their way back into this game.
Well, that was a special kind of carnage, wasn't it? Aggression into A. Throw all the util. Movistar think they've got the perfect read because they've aggressed out B and found exactly what's happening, and then Eyeballers go all the way back and catch them in the middle. I don't think you'd ever get that round again.
Instant call to realizing they were being flanked, or was it the plan the whole time? Because I'm not sure.
It had to be planned.
Yeah, because I think they had started running back just before the first shot came in from the player on the flank as well. So I wasn't too sure whether it was instantly like, oh, we're being flanked, they're probably stacking the site, let's run it, or if it was their whole game plan, and that seems more likely. Either way, a fully eco coming in, Eyeballers should have an easy enough time. They've even pulled out a Bison on JW.
Just to keep things interesting. Is about to walk into a little bit of a stack here with that PP Bison. I mean, plenty of ammo if you're looking for silver linings to try and deal with it. 56 rounds still in the chamber after his initial spray down, but should be relatively easy cleaning here as Shine gets the initial kill. And yeah, at this point, JW surely, very shortly calls that this is a heavy-handed stack over on the B site as he goes 1 for 1. And at that point, the bomb should make its way back towards A. Indeed, 2 more spotted. The A site player's been taken down in the meanwhile. And yeah, relatively easily cleaned up. I mean, you lose the PP Bison, but sometimes in life, you've got to make sacrifices. Eyeballers get their 7th, and for the first time, we're going to see what Movistar Riders are up to on their CT side.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Martinez now can show a little bit more force, more presence, I suppose, on the server, because he was having some impactful rounds back on that T side, but it was more so when you'd see Eyeballers go for their aggression. So I'm curious if he's going to be the one that's willing to press the issue now in the early stages of these CT rounds and try and alleviate some pressure. It looks like he was more than willing to try it there on mid. Warned off by some flashes, though, so for now things are going to remain fairly calm. Trolling towards the canal. Taken, 2 players grouped up outside B, and it looks like we'll probably have a fairly quick first gun round here.
Yeah, send the MAC-10 in early, give Shine the control and start to fight the angles. Flashbangs are good, E-control taken, Shine wants more, wants blood, can't quite find it, trades are solid. Mopoz able to keep his team in the ascendancy for now, but it is the B site under siege. Nice Molotov, buys a little bit of time, but JW is up to his antics once again. Davidji on the headshot angle goes down. JW into the single digits, but his timing round this smoke so nearly excellent. Very nearly gets away with it. Instead, the flashbang through from Mopoz gets him another, and it's into Pepsol's 1v3. Does manage to isolate a couple of fights there, but Martinez is more than up for the task on the AWP. Movistar Riders start to register on their CT side. Some very efficient trading inside of that B site keeps them in it.
Yeah, but it's in a similar fashion to what we've seen from Eyeballers early on their CT side, where they're able to trade out some of these early gun rounds. So, see if it's a long-term thing, because only 2 players standing, their economy will be fully drained just getting the purchase back in here on everyone. And as you can see, with the bomb plant going down, there's still AKs, there's a Tech 9 on towards Flush. Sure, that's a small weakness, but they've got utility to back it up. So Eyeballers could, in theory, with this round, immediately break Movistar back down. They're still in a pretty dangerous area right now.
Certainly, these kind of rounds can decide series, the all-important swings. And oh, Alex, that is disgusting. Straight through the smoke, straight on the spam. No vision, but he doesn't need it. JW goes down. And that's almost all of their canals control lost in the opening moments. Flush has got to be very careful in and around that stairwell, as the rest of his team look to take some control into mid. With presence still there for the CT side, the question becomes, how do Eyeballers look to break this one? Davig still in and around the exit, using his util to good effect, trying to isolate, make sure that they can't split that A site for as long as possible, and you can see the rotations already. Mopoz and Movistar are very comfortable that they've got a read on this situation. A third player working his way into exit. Davig is now fast on the heaven rotate. There's going to be 3 CTs inside of this A site as the hit looks to come through, and a little bit of cheekiness very nearly pays off, but not quite enough. Full advantage taken as Sorcerer and Martinez look for the trades and find them. Man advantage still there for the Movistar Riders, despite Eyeballers' best efforts. Well, at least be able to get that bomb down. Buy themselves the 2-on-3. Martinez looking to boost over top of this smoke. Does leave him vulnerable, but he finds the kill regardless. Sapek left in the 1v3, and it's going to be 1 against all 3 almost immediately here. As Alex and Sorcerer were going to look to push this issue. Martinez goes down early, but that just gives the information up to the CT side. They know exactly where to look. Sapek very nearly finds it, but the timing for the third, just not expecting all 3 bodies to be coming through the exact same area. Movistar Riders, I mean, it's tight, but they are not going to care. It's a 12th CT round on the board. It's another one where it's going to force Eyeballers onto the half by 13, a very real possibility. And this is starting to look bad now for Eyeballers. This is really starting to feel like it's getting away from them.
Yeah, this time not really able to scrape together the AKs as they did before. And you said a half by only a couple of the players so far, even bothering with Kevlar, so should be an opportunity even for Movistar to hopefully have a slightly easier time for themselves, because even though they've started building up this lead once again, their economy isn't building. That's exactly how we've seen Eyeballers' initial CT lead kind of snowball away from them, so see if that's something they can correct here and now. Martinez again with the opening kill on the up, looking like he's on a solid roll as that cannon now that he's on this CT side. That's how he was getting a lot of his kills back on that T side as well, just waiting for the peaks to come towards him, and it seems like he's pretty much incapable of missing these sitters, we'll call them. Oh, unless he gets his head taken off. Yeah, never mind. It makes it a bit more complicated. You do need a skull.
It does help you to see the opposition when you've not got 50 caliber right between the eyes, but relatively easily traded down again. Nothing too concerning. I mean, they lose the AWP, but it's picked up, so at the end of the day, it's 1 rifle going down and you're 13-7 up. Confidence blossoming here on Anubis for the Movistar Riders, and Eyeballers in need of a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of magic from somebody. Really haven't had a player step up and say he's going to be the one to steal a round away yet, and we've seen it from Movistar. We've seen it from the likes of Martinez. Mopoz having big impact rounds, 2-3 kills on their T side to wrench open sites. Just not been there for the Eyeballers yet. Need someone like Pepsor to start sticking his hand up to be counted in these kind of rounds. 3-man stack over towards B early, and it does look like the B site's going to be tested here. Alex, though, just a little bit of skin showing. Peps are able to find damage, but he's losing teammates almost immediately. Martinez grabs 1, Alex in with the 2nd, and, well, the E-box hits decimated in an instant. Peps are able to wrestle at least 1 back, but he needs more than that, and he doesn't clear out jail, which makes it all too easy for Mopoz. Simple things going wrong for the Eyeballers at this point. No way 2 kills should have gone down E-box for free.
Yeah, and JW was having a very rough game, and he's actually been one of their better performers over the past few months, so this is not really what you want to be seeing. It seems like that could have been the difference maker to keep this game neck and neck and to try and get some of those swing rounds in favour of Eyeballers. Instead, I think he's got 4 kills. A couple rounds before the halftime, he was 2-10, so he might have had maybe 1 or 2 more than that, but either way, sitting at maybe like 4-15, 4-16, something along those lines. Not the game you want from JW. Inferno isn't really an Opper's Paradise up next either, so.
I like this, though. Fast split into the B site. Going to pile the pressure on with the utility. Orpa flashed off his first angle. HE's going to do some damage, but they need to find those kills, and it's just not happening.
I was hopeful after the main damage.
Yeah, there was so many nice ideas there from the Eyeballers, but I think a missed smoke outside of B main, and it just gets ripped apart. Yeah, that smoke is not meant to be there, is it? Pepsor last up. Looking for the consolation prize at this point. And the shot, again, just not quite landing. It's just not quite landing from start to finish from the Eyeballers. 15-7 up for Movi. And that T-side, well, it is a T-sided map. It's a map that you can normally really start to snowball these rounds together, but if you're not finding your kills, it just isn't going to happen, and that really is the story of this series so far for the Eyeballers.
Yeah, I mean, individually, we've seen some good moments out of the likes of Flusha, Shine, even Sepex had some good moments as well in the previous half, but overall, it just seems like consistency-wise, it is Movistar who have them beat, and that's always kind of been the case with how long they've kept this core together. Oh, AVG, I didn't realize he was actually still up close. Sapik fortunately did. Ooh. The turn from the flash, a second kill from Sapik. I mentioned he had a decent previous half. Comes alive now when they need it. One trade
That's the A site.
Does keep Movistar in the round, but as you said, the A-bomb site is open for the taking. The problem is it's going to take them quite a while to get the bomb back around there.
Should be a relatively easy conversion at this point. Full A site control taken. CTs with very little to work with as well. Smoked off exit. Having to actually flank all the way through CT and very cautiously clear it the entire way. At this point, I think even with the economy, you might see Movistar opting to save or look for exits here, knowing that they've got an 8-round buffer. Yeah, knowing that their opposition's economy just isn't quite in a position either.
It does seem like they've gone with the save, but I wouldn't have minded if they went for 1 or 2 exits here, just because Eyeballers, as you said, do not have any money at all themselves. If they could get even 2 kills here, then the buy could maybe even have a Galil or 2 coming up in the next round for Eyeballers, and obviously they can't really afford to be left in a weak position. They lose 1 round, this map is done and dusted. It is.
They are going to start.
Choice. I do need to remember that.
Yeah, it is easy to get a little carried away, isn't it? Mopos is going to start to think about looking for exit kills here, and he should get a crosshair on his way through, but just not quite able to connect. So 4 players left up for the Eyeballers, 15-8 on the board. That T-side finally kicking back into life after a very sordid middle of map 1. Some questions to be asked as Movistar Riders call the timeout. Still plenty of money in the bank for them. Another buy on the back of this one, all but guaranteed if this one goes wrong and they continue to spiral. But hasn't looked like it's going to be a problem for Movistar if we're being real here. That was a little bit of magic. I mean, we asked for it and Sapek delivered in spades, but how many times can someone like that step up to the plate? The basic bread and butter rounds just haven't quite connected for the Eyeballers at all on this T side. And it's a long way from home here to try and stitch together a comeback.
Yeah, at the very least, a few rounds to establish something before moving on towards Inferno, though, I suppose, could be nice. Because it's been a few straight rounds here and there, so far that they've been able to find, and I imagine with that it's hard to get any sort of confidence truly going. Both sides with pretty much everything they could ask for in terms of the buy, though. Slightly more aggressive this time around on that actual mid peek from Davy.
Oh, there we go.
Caught by the up close peek as well. It's already completely open mid, as well as, well, already it looks like an A split coming through, leaving Sossel alone. He's had a really good game so far, but this is probably too much to ask of him. So yeah, he does decide to just back out and concede the bomb site itself. Likely to go for another save, just so they can keep on buying and keep on contesting to hopefully inevitably get that 1 round.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, Dean. Eyeballers the exact same call, exact same strat, exact same result. 4 on 3 after plant, 3 players saving. Unfortunately, I can't tell you if it's the exact same 3 players saving. That would be truly impressive. But another round for the Eyeballers. They seem to have found the keys.
I think it might be, though.
If it would be, that'd be really impressive. But it's another one where
he definitely died because he was tucked in close to the door in that previous round, and I think it was Mopo supporting him as well.
I hope it was, because then it really does illustrate my point really well. But if it wasn't, the point still stands. It's a very similar round. Eyeballers have worked out a way to break open the defense. A fast play through mid has worked twice on the trot. The question is, as everyone will know when you're being repeatedly hit by the same strategy, at what point do Movistar stack it? And at what point do the Eyeballers look to change up the game? That eternal mind battle between these two lineups. Movistar still with the advantage, however, at 15-9 up. Still those 6 rounds of buffer in the back pocket. Looks like Eyeballers have opted to twist this time, though. Couple of players outside of BJW through the canals with support from Shine, who once again, they want to up this pace. They want to force the fights. Alex caught on the edge of a smoke. Shine knows if he's there, the molly will stop him retreating. A freebie, a gift. As the T side once again starts to prosper in these opening moments. A 4-on-5, not something they've had too often. With limited information, the CT side scrambling to make a play. E-Box, an unknown quantity. B-Main, an unknown quantity. They're going to look for the aggression out. But it all may be in vain, as once again we're going to see this split play in towards middle, and Martinez caught between a rock and a hard place with a molly licking at his fleet. Has got to do it all, and he can't find the kill. Protracted engagement with Sapek, but the kill comes through in mid once more. And again, 3-on-5. What can you really do if you're a CT side in this situation? You're split all across the map. It's Mopoz hoping that his fast flank will do enough. And, well, they're being given their opportunity here because it is the A site Eyeballers look to hit. But with just one kill coming out of Sourcel, it's not going to be enough. Mopoz, sure, he gets the consolation kill. But this is going to be double digits for the Eyeballers. And this is their T side starting to find its momentum shift.
Oh, no save either. JW was ready for the fall off of Mopoz. And yeah, I mean, Movistar are fortunate that they did have such a fantastic first half and then were able to kind of get going early on the CT side, because they do look a little bit flat, I've got to say. I think we might see a change up. Maybe they'll try and throw a bit more aggression in towards this next gun round, which should be coming now. I mean, Martinez is 11,000, Alex is 9,500, so Martinez can drop one, Alex can drop one. Martinez will still have plenty for his op, and they might even have a little bit left over somewhere. Although they are finally starting to expend all that cash that they were able to build up. So for Eyeballers now, I mean, 5 rounds, 3 or 4 of which are likely to be gun rounds. It's still a pretty daunting task, but it's doable.
And you can feel the nerves starting to get in Movi, right? That's the second time out they've taken in 2 rounds. Just starting to feel that pressure mounting. Feeling the situation start to get away from them. Despite their best efforts. 5-round deficit is not that much. T side of Anubis as well.
Round, one player pop off, take a double, take a triple early on in the round, and that could be it.
Who's going to stand up and be counted? There's plenty of heroes on this Movistar Riders lineup. We've seen it so far this series. Very standard setup. No play into mid at all. That's the counter to the initial mid aggression working time. And again, you can get aggressive in mid. We're not going to be there. This time, however, Eyeballers looking for some control in towards the E-box again. Movistar occupying this portion of the map very passively. Alex feigning with the footsteps the idea that he's there, but instead just backing away at the first opportunity. And looking to reset, that bomb still lurking in and around the canals. Nobody wanted to call this play just yet. They need a pick, and it's not being given up with a minute left on the clock. Still utility available in the hands of the Movistar Riders, and still a well-set B defense. And it does look like it's going to be B, as Sourcel will surely find out. He's got the free flank. He gets a gift of a kill onto Shine, and he knows what's coming. A second as Flusher goes down, and Sourcel, well, he's just unlocked the key to the whole damn round. Pepsor spotted through the smoke is down to 2, and this one is falling apart in all too familiar fashion. 3 free picks for the Movistar Riders on their opening aggressions. And for Pepsor and Sapek, it's on for the miracle play. The bomb is down middle of canals. And, well, it may well be waterlogged as well. Who knows if it'll even go off. Sapek trying to get something, anything to ignite his team. We'll find one. An opening kill at the very least, but it really is all on his shoulders. Pepsor on 2 HP will bog down himself an AWP in the hope of getting something done, but it's over. It will be the Movistar Riders. It's a little hectic in the mid, but it's 16-10 as they take their map pick of Anubis and pile the pressure on the Eyeballers heading into Inferno.
Yeah, I mean, good job to get a little bit of footing towards the end and at least come alive, hopefully now to give us some hope for Inferno. But honestly, if we get a Movistar that looked like they did there...